After you've built your audience with interest, you'll see behaviors. This is something else that can be used for targeting. I don't use these at all for my t-shirt campaigns, and my mentors, the people who have trained me, don't use them either. So I'm not going to waste any time going over them. You can test them if you like, or just skip over them like most of us do. For connections, leave all selected. We don't want to exclude anyone. Now let's scroll down and set our advertising budget. I always leave the budget set at per day as opposed to lifetime of the campaign. I do this because I want to know how much money I'm going to spend each day in advance. Now, how much do we budget for each day? Think about it like this. What you're doing in the beginning of your campaign is buying data. You want to know if people are engaging with your ad, your shirt design, liking it, commenting on it, sharing it, and tagging their friends. And most importantly, buying your shirt. Usually you'll need to spend about $20 to $30 to find this out. So if you set your budget at $20, $25, $30, you can get this data all in one day or 24 hours. If you set your budget at $5, it will take you 4 or 5 days to find out this information. So what you set your budget at depends on your own personal comfort level. When I'm running campaigns, I usually run 5, 6, or 7 at a time. And I usually start with $15 or $30 per day, depending on how confident I feel that a shirt will sell. After you do this for a while, you'll begin to get a feel of which shirts will sell better than others. And of course, sometimes you'll be totally wrong. There's also one more thing to consider about starting with a lower budget. The data that you collect is spread out over a longer period of time, so it may be a little more accurate. For example, some campaigns will be going really well, and you'll be selling several shirts each day. Then you hit a day where you don't sell any. Now, if you started your campaign on that specific day, and you have your whole $20 budget set up to run on that day, you may kill a campaign that otherwise might have been a winner. So for your first few campaigns, you might want to just start with $5 per day, just to see what type of engagement you're getting. If it's good, you can increase your budget the next day or at any time. For scheduling, I watch my ads every day, so I just leave them on and turn them off just before the end of the campaign. Just don't forget to turn them off or you'll be wasting money. Now, if you want, you can schedule a start and end time for your ads to run. This is good if you're running a lot of campaigns at once, then you won't have to remember when to turn each one off. To get the end time, you would just go back to Teespring and find out exactly when your campaign ends. And down here for bidding, I always leave this set at Optimize for Page Post Engagement. If you're not seeing this, all you have to do is click Show Advanced Options. Next, we already gave our campaign a name, now we have to give our ad set a name. I'll just call this Boating Ad Set. Now we'll scroll down a little bit more. You should see your ad over here on the right, and on the left, I'm going to click Show Advanced Options. URL tags are a little more advanced. If you know how to use them, fine. If not, then don't worry about them for right now. Next, we need to choose a tracking pixel that we created in a previous video. We called it Boating. I see it here, so I'll go ahead and click on that. Here it says make sure your pixel is working. Don't worry about that. The pixel won't work until we make our first sale. So just skip this part. Now here it says Desktop News Feed. This is what our ad will look like in our prospect's news feed if they're using a desktop computer. Now I'll scroll down a bit, and now we see Mobile News Feed, so I'll go ahead and click on that link. This is what our ad will look like on a mobile device. Then below that we have Right Column. Now for some reason, right column ads don't work well for most campaigns, so I always remove them when I start a new campaign. And sometimes I add them back when I find a really successful campaign. So to remove the right column ads, just click this Remove button. And here you see your ads will not show in the right column. So now we finished creating our ad, let's go ahead and click Review Order. Okay, we gave our campaign a name. It's Care About Boating. Inside the campaign, we have an ad set. We named that Boating Ad Set. Now inside the ad set, we have an actual ad. We got to give the ad a name. I'll just call this Boating Ad, just to keep things simple. When you're satisfied everything is the way it should be, go ahead and click Place Order. Now after you do this, you can always pause or stop your ads at any time. I just tell you this because sometimes people are a little afraid to hit that button for the first time. But once you have your first successful campaign, you won't be able to wait to do it again. Okay, just one more thing before we wrap up this video. You need to read the Facebook advertising guidelines. Here's the address, and you can also get the link by clicking the resources button above this video. Now I know it's boring to read the terms and service and guidelines, and most of us don't usually do it. But this time, please make an exception. If you break Facebook's rules, they can and will suspend or ban your account. And they don't want to hear that you didn't know it was against the rules, so telling them that won't help. Sometimes they will just disapprove your ad. But if you become a repeat offender, you could lose your ability to make money on Facebook altogether. So please take this seriously and go and read these guidelines. Now, if your ad gets disapproved for a violation, you'll get a notice that looks something like this. It reads, "Your ad wasn't approved because it violates Facebook's ad guidelines by using profanity or addressing the age, gender, name, physical condition, or sexual orientation of people on Facebook." So if your ad does get disapproved, be sure to make the necessary changes, then submit your ad again. Okay, on to the next video.